In your notes, that was really cool. For those playing along at home and here at the venue, you can probably pick up from my voice that I'm not a local, so they're warning regarding earthquakes and get down low and cover yourself and all this. That's kind of cool for me, because we don't get that back in Australia.
No.
Anyway, it's all good. We just get bushfires and really big spiders and massive snakes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we are ready to go for our officials to join us out here on the... Hang on, technical difficulties. Press the button. Joining us on the track at this time is our official. Our officials, our skating officials for this evening are Malpractice, Quadfather, Daisy Payne, Smiley, Invader Sin, Mr. Fox, and Serrated Edge. Our NSOs keeping it down on the official bits of paper that need to happen is Dax Ex Machina, Dr. Reva Song, Danny Mal, T-Bone Jake, Thistlehurt, Cinderfella, Baruch Assault, Cardinal Payne, Scathing Grace, and our head official for the evening is Espresso Barbini. Make some noise for our officials, ladies and gentlemen. None of this happens without them.
So it is then making their way out on track, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that round of applause going for West Coast Bombers, number 029, Red Rolling Good, number 13, Executioner, number 14, Lil Witchy, number 22, Scarlet Fever, number 45, Viper, number 329, Crash, number 36, Cryptic Burial, 489, Warheeny, number 500, Bad Wolf and the Captain, number 5608, Lee Ness, 705, Knuckle Sandwich, 8, Dina Malls, 801, Baby Mayhem, and on the bench it is Crusher and Karma. Ladies and gentlemen, the West Coast Bombers keep the round of applause going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us all the way from Rimutaka, 1138, Slugatha, Raygun, 121, Santa Claus, 1404, Scumbalina, 1607, Red Rum at 237, number 26, the Professor, number 300, Bounty Hunter, number 314, Mary Fury, MX Scrape at 394, Prince Harming at 45, Tequila at 66, T-Bone at 777, Kelter Skelter at 792, number 83 is Grizzly Bear, and your captain for this evening at 99 is Whiplash. And holding it down on the bench for Remutaka is Tornado, Miscombobulator, Fire Dragon, and Vengeful. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for these teams tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. Raven, and joining me from somewhere other than Wellington is JR.
Yeah, somewhere other than Wellington, being Melbourne. So don't hold that against me. It's great to be back in New Zealand. Always love coming over and catching up with friends and doing the derby and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully not too far away then from getting this one underway.
Now, just as you all look to settle in, don't forget that there is a variety of food options out and about.
Yes, there is.
There is Janine out in the yellow truck. There is also, I think it's Firebird Eats out in the red truck outside.
Yes, please. Yum.
Yeah, that's
Very
real
much.
good. And don't forget that there is also the chocolate coin toss down the back.
Ooh.
And if you go down there, you take your gold coin, you flip it, it lands on a block of chocolate, you get to keep it. But you can also purchase, while you're down there, raffle tickets for our Richter City raffles. Where are my raffle people at? Where are my raffle people
There's
at?
one over there.
Waving
Yes.
hands.
Waving hands over there.
Waving hands.
And
Fantastic.
down there. Yes.
So the prizes for tonight is an awesome kind of recovery pack for a Sunday morning with a plunger, some coffee, and a voucher for Collab Coffee in Lower Hutt. And while you're sitting on your deck feeling maybe a little bit sorry for yourself, a little bit worse for wear,
Never.
you can relax in your Richter City roller derby shirts.
So under starter instructions, as the whistle blows, hammer down, gets this one underway. Can't quite make out who's jamming first up for the Bombers, but they do get through, picking up lead jammer.
That is number 29, Red Rolling Good.
Yeah. Wasting no time, Red Rolling Good.
With
getting back to the pack.
Bounty Hunter and Hot Pursuit.
Yep. Both teams now just going to work on the two jammers and trying to hold them up, and they did so quite well. But it is then early 2 points for the West Coast Bombers to get things underway.
Which bit us? All right. One of the other prizes that's up for... Oh, no. As we get ready for the second jam of the evening.
There we go.
Prince Harming is out in front as lead jammer at the moment.
Oh, big hit there in turn one. That was coming off the West Coast Bomber jammer there. That's 8-0-1. And of course, that's Baby Mayhem.
Pack's doing a really, really good job of holding up Prince Harming, making life incredibly difficult for him to get through.
But whilst all that was happening, Baby Mayhem getting on through and picking up some points to add to the West Coast Bombers tally.
Now, the other two prizes that are up for grabs tonight in our awesome raffle is a tattoo voucher at the Gallery Tattoo Parlour and a T-shirt which was put together by a tattoo artist by the name of Jake in Shadow. Cool. And the other is an Ico bag of goodies.
I think that's that one there, the blue one.
Looks like my daughter would love it. I think it has unicorn lights in it, I'm not sure.
Right. So we get this one underway then, and it's a slow moving pack coming through into turn number one, but it is 5-0 damning then for the West Coast Bombers.
That's their Captain Bad Wolf out in front.
Yeah, wasted no time with a little bit of a gap on the inside line there. Bad Wolf gets on through, picks up lead jammer.
Raygun. Unfortunately for Raygun, Bad Wolf calls it off. Now, if you're sitting there and you don't necessarily feel like something heavy to eat, if you were to go out the front, you would find the Richter City Roller Derby Sausage Sizzle. Now, the cool thing about the Richter City Roller Derby Sausage Sizzle is that all of the funds raised from that go towards supporting the travel teams and helping them to get to where they need to be to beat the rest of the teams in the country. Fingers crossed.
And that's always a good idea as we get this one underway. Can't quite make out the jammers, but it is getting on through. There is number 2-6.
That's the Professor out in front for Remutaka.
Unfortunately for the West Coast Bomber jammer, just being held up in turns 1 and 2.
Red Rolling Good managed to find the line on the inside.
Yep.
The Professor being held up in back play.
Good bit of defensive work there from the West Coast Bomber blockers there just to hold the jammer up. Picking up 4 points though. Professor wasting no time getting some points put on the board.
Now, if you've been down to Tiny Town, you'll have noticed that a lot of the adult beverages that are available for you this evening are courtesy of Garage Project, which, to be honest, is one of my favourite drops on a casual Friday evening once I finish my long, hard week at work.
I must try this Garage Project.
You absolutely have to. And they are also one of our sponsors
Yes.
here at Rector City. Baby Mayhem out in front.
Yeah, again, just finding a little bit of a gap on the inside line was all that Baby Mayhem needed to get on through, picking up Lee Jammer in the process.
And Marie Fury. Oh, and she calls it off.
Yep. Almost a hit it and quit it style there, just grabbing the 2 points. I think she had a bit of a sneaky look across the track. She knew where the other jammer was.
Now we have
smart play.
a shoulder pads 80s fashion crisis right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out there and for some reason you wore your big shouldered 80s jacket, please take your shoulder pads to the non-skating officials in the middle of the ring because they desperately need them.
Either that or it's a good bicep curl. I don't know. It's
actually this is a good point.
I'm not, yeah.
You could actually grab a couple of like water bottles and get your pump on while you were doing that. That would be great.
I can't because I'm just coming off a pec tear. So the last sort of 5-6 weeks for me have been no upper body. It's all been the fun stuff like, I don't know, cardio. Because that's good fun, isn't it?
What's this cardio you speak of?
It's a forbidden word in the world of gym workouts and so on and so forth. But it's on the mend, so hopefully not too long before I can get back and actually do some real work.
All right, now looks like we're about to get underway again.
So that whistle means we get this one underway with slow moving pack coming down the main
pushing,
straight.
finding a way through is Bounty Hunter for lead jammer. While Bad Wolf held up quite a bit by those packs.
Yep.
Oh, nice little line through by Bounty Hunter as she calls it off.
Yeah. A little bit of a gap there coming off of turn 2 on the inside. Saw it, but then it was quickly shut down and good game awareness and track awareness, I should say, to get back in and cut through on the inside before calling it off. So good gameplay. So we have an empty penalty box. It is so full complement of blockers on track, which is what we want to see. Looks like the Professor then jamming. It is.
Yes, it is the Professor out in front as lead jam. Lovely hit it and quit it style jam there by the Professor. Now, it's somewhat of a tactic, isn't it, JR?
Yeah, it is. Like a lot of benches will employ that at various times throughout the game. If they feel as though they want to get some quick points, it's a hit it and quit it scenario. Usually you'll see that sort of a scenario played out if there's a jammer in the box and they're about to stand and finish a penalty. You keep them in the box, you start the next penalty to your advantage. So we get this one underway, and it looks like the very familiar skating style of Baby Mayhem jamming for the West Coast Bombers.
But Mick Scrape gets out in front as Lee Jammer.
Oy. Nice hit there.
Oh, and he calls it off. Now, does it change the gameplay at all when you're working with a mixed team, do you think?
Not really. I mean, in some cases it might. I think most skaters you talk to nowadays, once upon a time there was this a male, female kind of thing that you looked at it and go, is it really good? Is it going to work? Are the females going to be any less intimidated? No is the answer to that, because everyone just skates at a certain level. As we get this one underway. So yeah, I think once upon a time it probably did, but now...
it's a bounty hunter out in front as lead jam.
Yeah, quick to call that one off too. As we see ourselves under, looks like another official timeout. Yeah, look, to answer your question, I don't think it does now. I think mixed gender roller derby is such now that everyone's accepted it, and the skill level from both males and females is at a really high level. And believe you me, I did some training, and I come from an ice hockey background, and some of these girls, they hit and they can hit you damn hard. So I don't think it's not a thing anymore.
Now, don't forget, one of the other ways, as I said, one of the ways that you can support Richter City is by buying the raffle tickets. Slayer, give us a wave. Slayer, give us a wave.
Slayer.
We're
talking
Slayer,
to
give
you.
us a wave.
There she is.
There she is. The wonderful Slayer has the is our roaming raffle person.
Roaming raffle person, I like that. That's an official title.
It is. It's great.
All the officialdom.
Without the shoulder pads. And of course, you can also head down to our chocolate coin toss as well. Yeah. And all of these, as I say, all of these fundraising activities go towards supporting the Richter City travel teams. Now, it looks like we might be down a couple of people.
We are down quite a few. It looks like the blocker, it's going to be 2-on-2. So, unfortunately, the penalty box, seeing a lot of action in this particular game.
That's Red Rolling Good up against Marie Fury.
This is the first time I think we've seen Marie Fury jamming in this game. Doing a pretty good job of it as well. Makes
Red Rolling Good been recycled a couple of times.
Not before, no. Maybe 2, maybe none. So as we get this one then underway, it looks like jamming for the West Coast Bombers. That's 801 Baby Mayhem. Bit of a slow moving pack coming into turn number 1.
And that's the Professor.
Yeah.
Barging his way through to take lead jammer.
Oh, nice hit there on turn number 2.
Baby Mayhem put out and recycled back to the recycled back.
And straight away met in turn number 2 by some very, very solid defense there. Whilst all that was going on, the Professor just skating on by, just picking up some more points to add to the tally.
And he gets through the pack again.
Yep.
And calls the jam off. Now obviously, if you're taking some fairly heavy hits out there on the track and you're feeling like you're a little bit stiff and sore, you could pop on down and see Jen at Form Massage Therapy. Or if your back was feeling like it needed a good crack, you could go and see our friends at Hataitai Osteopath. Now, at the moment, I got to admit, the idea of a nice, relaxing massage down in the CBD of Wellington oddly appeals.
Yes.
And that is Red Rolling Good out in front as lead jam with Bounty Hunter in hot pursuit.
Nice
and
footwork there.
Some lovely dainty footwork right on the line. Now, at what point does it stop being skating and start being walking? Does that make sense?
Yeah, about that point there, when I guess all the jammers now have that in their bag of tricks. footwork.
Just popping up onto the toe stops.
Getting up on the toe stops, and if you can do that little hop, that lateral hop, certainly if you can use that on the inside or outside lines, you just get through. And if you can't do that, well then you're looking at jumping.
I've seen some beautiful apex jumps here.
Oh yeah, I've seen some straight jumps. More about that later on. As it is then 5-0-0.
Bad Wolf out in front as the lead jam.
Of course, Bad Wolf, the captain of the West Coast Bombers.
And Prince Harming. Bad Wolf trying to find a line through.
Yep. Oh, bit of a tumble there off of turn number 2.
And the jam gets called off.
4 points apiece.
Yeah, I would genuinely think that after a fall like that, you want to go and see an osteo.
Yes. Certainly after a game, you want to see every person in the medical profession that can look after you. So we get this one underway, and it looks like the professor then jamming Remutaka, if I pronounce that right. I hope I did. If I didn't,
that's not bad. That's not bad.
For an Aussie, that's
I'll
not
give you
too
that
bad.
one. Yep. Red rolling good.
It is red rolling good, and lead jammer for her and West Coast Bombers.
The professor finally manages to skate his way clear. Oh, lovely line around the inside.
Yep.
And she calls the jam off. Lovely, tidy little jam.
Gotta love them.
Now, don't forget, one of our other friends here at Richter City is one of the other beverages that's available to you down in Tiny Town, and that is the Karma Cola Company. Now, just because they're called Karma Cola doesn't mean that that's all that they do. They do a really tasty lemonade and a really nice ginger ale.
Half-time is suggesting to me to get on down there and check all that out.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
But meanwhile, the action's then on track, and it is 8:01. That's Baby Mayhem getting on through, picking up lead jammer for West Coast Bombers. And in hop and shoot, not to be outdone, that is 3-0-0, Bounty Hunter.
Oh, and some lovely footwork by Bounty Hunter. Tiptoeing, tap dancing down the line.
Almost Lady Trample-esque.
Working the pack. Oh, and lovely work again. Using the pack to just find that line through the inside.
And using the advantage too. It is a power jam then. Unfortunately, Baby Mayhem picking up a penalty. Can't comment on it. Didn't see it. But it is a power jam then for Bounty Hunter.
Sitting in the box, thinking about what she did wrong.
Good opportunity then for her to pick up as many points as she can. Now, she can't call a jam off because lead jammer went to the way of Baby Mayhem. So this one will go for the full 2 minutes.
Oh, and again,
more points.
Finding that way through the inside.
Tell you what, this is becoming a very, very, very handy jammer in terms of accumulative points.
Oh, and it just...
Oh, big hit.
Just some absolutely beautiful footwork by Bounty Hunter at the moment. Just managing to find those lines through and around. Lovely to watch.
And again, just working back to the inside from the outside part of the track and picking up 4 points. I tell you what.
Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. That was a wonderful
28-point jam. Whoa. And with that 28 points, it's,
we've got a toilet stop. Rimutaka, somebody needs to use the facilities.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. No, that's the Bombers.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to use the facilities.
So 28-point Jam taking the lead now to 65-45 the way of Remutaka.
Tucker.
Remutaka.
Rimutaka.
I'll get it right.
You'll get there.
One of these
You'll get
days.
there. It takes practice. Hey, so now would be an awesome opportunity to go and see Jet down at the coin toss.
Yes.
And see if you can get yourself a block of chocolate.
Throw all the coins they do.
And you could also buy raffle tickets off her and pick up one of those 3 awesome prizes. That the coffee package.
That one?
Yeah, with the plunger, the coffee, the voucher from Collab Cafe and Lower Hut.
Tell you what, I reckon I'm going to buy tickets for that. Can I win that? Is there a disclosure?
I'm pretty sure we're allowed to.
Excellent.
I'm pretty sure we are, yeah.
I just got to try and get that back into a show.
There's also the gallery tattoo voucher and the Ico bag of goodies. You can go and see Jet or you can see Slayer. Either one of them will happily sell you a ticket to the raffle.
Tattoo voucher, I could use that. I could just go get a tattoo on Monday because why not? Just add to the collection.
Some kind of like M&M's. Once you've had one, you just can't
Pringles,
stop.
once you pop, you can't stop. That's it.
And that is Bad Wolf out in front as lead jammer.
Oi.
But I tell you what, more collisions and pile-ups in an Auckland motorway out there right now.
Oh, I like that one. That's very good. I won't steal your material. That's copywritten, I'm sure. But anyway, I get what you mean.
Oh, and before, just as Prince Harming's catching up with the pack, the jam gets called off.
Yeah, I think Wolf was more than well aware of where he was, and that was very much a tactical call-off, as most jammers do. They know where their other jammer is. Most of them.
Hey, now one of our other friends here at Rector City is a group called Cake It Forward.
Oh.
And I really like Cake It Forward, and I'll tell you about it after this jam. And that is Red Rolling Good out in front as lead jam, as that Bombers pack is making life incredibly difficult for their jammer to get past. Lovely footwork by Red Rolling Good.
Yeah.
Lovely footwork.
Making it even easier, I guess, too, for the Bombers, it was the fact that they have pack advantage.
Marie Fury finding her way through.
Yep.
Oh, lovely, beautiful footwork by Red Rolling Good. As she calls the jam off.
Yeah.
Now to come back to Cake It Forward.
Please.
Everybody likes cake, right?
Love it.
I like cake.
Cannot live without it.
Yeah, everybody likes cake. So the cool thing about Cake It Forward is that whatever the occasion is, they'll make your cake for you. Oh. Whether it's your birthday, your anniversary, that baby shower or a bridal shower,
nice.
They do it. Now the cool thing is this. Every cake that they make, a needy kid out there in the world gets cake.
Oh, cool.
They work in with a whole bunch of people that I'll tell you about after this jam.
Awesome.
That is Mixed Scrape 394 out in front as lead jammer.
Oh, big hit there in between turn 1 and 2. And it was
Bad Wolf jamming, finds a way through on the inside.
Bounty Hunter then laying the pain, as it were, but...
Oh, and Mixed Scrape recycled a long way back as he calls the jam off. Now back to Cake It Forward, because they're actually kind of cool.
Yep.
So they regularly make kids, they work in with the Angel Tree Network. And the thing about Angel Tree is that they are supporting kids whose parents are in prison.
Okay, yep.
And so the cakes that that Cake It Forward make, they also give a cake to a kid whose parents might not necessarily be able to organise one for them for a special occasion, or their parents are inside, or... Anyway,
we love those organisations.
Fantastic way to support young people, because who doesn't like cake?
That's exactly right. So it is then the Professor jamming up against Baby Mayhem. Your two jammers out on track. Bit of jammer action. That was a big hit just off the turn number 2. The Professor letting Baby Mayhem know all about it too.
Baby Mayhem calling the jam off.
And that didn't tickle.
She looks like she might have tweaked her shoulder.
Maybe. That was In hockey, that would have been boarding, and you would have been sent to the penalty, the sin bin for about 5 minutes. But anyway, it was a big hit. This is a contact sport, so expect big hits, as long as they're legal. And that was all legal. So it looks like the blocker advantage now was with Remutaka, but it's not anymore. As we see 3-2-5 jamming, that is, drum roll.
Ooh, 325.
Okay. Not familiar with that West Coast jammer, but anyway.
A little bit of banter between the two jammers out there.
That's it. Oh, nice. Nice apex jump, but all to no avail. Bounty Hunter very happy with herself, getting up lead jammer, but
325 was right there on top of it.
Exactly, not to be outdone. Thought, well, if I'm not going to get any points, at least I can do a massive apex jump and put on a show for the crowd. Good move.
Fantastic work. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, you'd like to have a crack at this, if you'd like to learn to skate,
yep,
you can come along. Oh, hang on. And that is Bad Wolf out in front as lead jammer for the Bombers. With the Professor.
Yep.
Also finding his way through. Both backs moving quickly now, making it hard work for the jammers. Oh, lovely work, and calls it off. Now, if you're thinking you might like to learn to skate, you can come along here to the Kilburnie Rec Centre.
Yep.
And that's on a Sunday night, if I remember correctly. And you can learn to skate. And if you get more comfortable as a skater, you might even decide to learn to do the derby things.
Cool.
And it's a really awesome opportunity to get out, have a crack at it, and see what it's like. A red rolling good. By the looks of it, out in front as lead jammer with Prince Harming.
So just coming through off the turn number 2.
Beautiful footwork.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful footwork.
Just a nice little gap there on the outside of turn 2. That's all that Red Rolling Good needed. Got the points, called it off. Job done. Now, since we've been babbling on and talking about all the good things, as we should, there was a sizable points gap about 5 minutes ago. There ain't a sizable points gap no more because the West Coast Bombers have come back in a big, big way.
7 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah. They're only just 2 points off. I've got a feeling this game might just be one of those ones that go all the way to the white. Oh.
Just checking his oil and water on his way past.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
It's a mixed scrape on his way out as lead jammer.
Yep. No, that's.
Crash.
It is crash?
Yeah, crash.
Yep.
329.
So good call off there by Crash. Ended with a nice little. It's almost like a power slide. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you have a hockey background, maybe inline hockey background. Empty penalty box means we have a full complement of blockers on track as we get this one underway. It is then the Professor
much like the Trailer Park Girls of old, finding a way around the outside.
Lee Jammer going the way of the Professor. And of course then Baby Mayhem, the other jammer out on track.
That penalty box is looking a little bit fuller than it was a minute or two ago. And the Professor calls it off.
Good call. Just stretches the lead with that points all, just picking up the 4 points.
Now, as I said earlier, none of our games happen without the support of our awesome skating and non-skating officials.
Oh, awesome.
The job that they do are the absolute unsung heroes of this game. And if you were interested in getting involved as an official, you could email officials.richtercity@gmail.com and get some more details about it.
Yep. It looks like then that's Wolf.
That is, Bad Wolf.
Yep. Up against, I think, seeing at their
Ray Gun.
Ray Gun, first time with the jammer panty on, I think, this afternoon. As in the pack comes through off of turn number 2.
Bad Wolf finding a way through on the inside.
Yeah, and she did that really, really well. Just a small little gap, but all these jammers, that's all they need. Is now the pack comes through turn 3 and 4, and that's where they're sort of stationary, just waiting for the 2 jammers to come on through.
And Bad Wolf calls it off.
And it looks like neither jammer picking up any points in that one.
Oh, Bounty Hunter just straight through the gap. Well done.
That was very much a set play and executed well.
Red rolling good, however. Found a similar gap around the outside.
Did. That play there, straight off the start line, is really good. If it works, if it doesn't work, it can turn to mulch real quickly. So,
Bounty Hunter again finding a way past that Bombers pack.
The synergy between jammer and blockers to pull that off. Beautiful, and Bounty Hunter done it well and picking up more points. Bounty Hunter making her way around the track. Just
Red rolling good, making hard work of it before finally finding a gap.
Yep.
Oh, but it's going to get recycled.
There's all sorts of action going on here off of turn number 1, but they all sort themselves out and they're all back on track now.
Bounty Hunter back around now.
It's another 4 points being added to the total.
Oh, and again, just lovely work by the Rimutaka pack. Just corralling the Bombers. And Bounty Hunter calls it off.
Yep. Nice little point haul there, 15-8, stretching the lead, 95-82, with just on 2 minutes 20 remaining in this first half. Been a pretty entertaining first half of roller derby. Quadfather there, just making sure that everything is as it should be. So that whistle means we get this one underway. Both jammers.
Marie Fury finding a way, just sneaking through the outside.
I was going to say both jammers having a tough old time, but Marie Fury not so.
Crash eventually also finding a way through.
And I don't think it's going to take him too long to get back to the pack, and indeed it's not. And he looks to the inside line. Nice apex jump.
Look at that.
So Crash then just, it looks like he's just having a leisurely Saturday afternoon skate, really. Just skating around, making it look.
Twist and a twirl, and he's back through the pack again.
And picking up more points in the process. It's a slow-moving pack coming through turns 3 and 4.
Crash, in essence, seems to be going it alone.
Does a little bit of a bean dip and gets on through the pack, picking up 4 more points.
Crash again back around.
Marifuri not to be outdone, picking up some points as well in that previous pass. Met solidly then by a strong West Coast defence coming through to the midpoint of turns 1 and 2.
Crash just finds the gap on the outside.
Yep. And again, the West Coast defence then giving Marifuri plenty to think about.
Oh. And that's the end of the jam.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is also the end of this half of the game as we go into intermission.
It is.
Now, as you head out to intermission, don't forget to find the lovely Princess Slayer,
Yes.
or the lovely Jet down by the chocolate coin toss. They are the wonderful, wonderful people who have the raffle tickets that are available for you to buy.
Yes, they
Remembering that the first prize, or one of the prizes, is the coffee pack, the plunger, the coffee, the voucher for Collab, and the Rector City shirt.
That's what, that one there.
The other one is the gallery tattoo voucher and a t-shirt by Jake Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Back at it again with 30 seconds. You're back here with Mr. Raven and JR for the second half. As I said, it has been a thoroughly entertaining match thus far.
Yeah, no, really enjoyed it. And like the scoreboard says nothing, so ignore that, even though it's like 8 points, 7 points difference.
Realistically, that is tight.
This is a good game. Whoa.
Bounty Hunter sent to the middle and recycled as Red Rolling Good gets out in front as lead jam.
Does she what? And wasted no time, just up on the toe softs almost, and just went for a little bit of a gallop.
Trying to find that line again, which she's managed to do so well thus far. And calling it off. Now, as I was saying before, if you're sitting there and you're feeling a little bit chilly, and you feel like you might need a new hoodie, you could head down the back to Tiny Town.
I saw that.
And all the Richter City merch down there, all these lovely, fine, fluffy hoodies, like the one that I have on at the moment.
And same, but mine's not Richter City.
That's all right. I mean, technically mine's Brutal Pageant, but it's still Richter City.
Yeah, right.
They're all 50% off.
Oi, there you go.
Fantastic.
Nice. Value for money.
Just a warning though, we are recording sound from it.
So we then get this one underway, and it looks like it is the captain then for the West Coast Bombers.
Prince Harming and Bad Wolf. Oh, but it looks like
it is Wolf jamming. I was nearly going to complete that. Oh, what?
It looks like
it's Power Jam.
Old Prince Harming is having a wee seat and having to think about some of his life choices recently. Possibly contemplating what he might eat for dinner later.
So Power Jam then it is for the West Coast Bombers. Good opportunity then for
Bad Wolf
to pick up.
Rack up some nice points for the West Coast Bombers.
Huge amount of points. Slow moving pattern and coming through turn number 4. Doesn't seem to worry Wolf too much. And getting on through, picking up another 4 points to add to the total.
And Bad Wolf calls it off just as Prince Harming was coming back around. Now, as you can imagine, sponsoring all of these events is quite a big thing.
Yep.
And if you were sitting there and you were thinking that you might be an organisation that could help out with the sponsorship of Richter City, you can become a friend of Richter City. And if you were to send an email to sponsorship.richtercity@gmail.com, they'll be able to start having a conversation with you about how you could help out.
Yep. Get on board and support is, I think that's the message there as...
Now that's Raygun out in front as lead jammer.
Yep.
Baby Mayhem held up in back play. Looked like she was thinking about swapping panties with someone. Decided to keep her own on.
Yeah, she had the stash there for a little bit and thought better of it. Wasn't much on offer in terms of being able to get that completed through to her pivot.
And Raygun calling it off.
So we get this one underway, and it looks like 029 Red Rolling Good jamming then for the West Coast Bombers. Also it is the Professor also jamming. Lead jammer going the way of Red 26, that is the Professor. Just trying to find a little bit of a gap on the inside part of turn 2, gets through successfully. He picks up 4 points before calling it off. Also, not to be outdone, 4 points going the way of the West Coast Bombers. bit of dance action happening on the start line there and get this one underway.
Staying warm out there, rocking along to Hungry Like the Wolf, if I'm hearing correctly.
It is.
As Bad Wolf, ironically enough,
yep,
out in front as lead jammer. Marie Fury trying to find a way through as Bad Wolf comes back around. Oh, Marie Fury.
So it's a slow moving pattern going down the back straight away.
And it looks like it is Big Bad Wolf in the sin bin, possibly thinking about Grandma's house and cookies.
Yeah, Marie Fury also joining her there, so that releases Bad Wolf back out onto the track. And straight away met with some resistance, but gets on through, picking up 4 points.
Found a nice little line right through the middle.
As all the good jammers do.
Oh, and again, just a lovely, nice little line through the inside for Bad Wolf. Mary Fury still trying to find her way around.
Oh, big hit then. Mary Fury sent to the outside part of turn number 2. Being recycled back almost to the midpoint of 1 and 2, but back now on track.
Bad Wolf again just manages to always find that nice little line.
Yep. Again, Murray Fury with it all to do on the back straightaway, being recycled almost from the midpoint all the way back to turn 2. Now the pack come through turn number 3.
And again, Bad Wolf on the inside.
Just slicing her way through.
And that's the end of that jam.
Wee. Nice little points haul there in the previous jam. Just a lazy 20 points from Bad Wolf.
And that looks like Mix Scrape out in front as lead jammer.
Yep.
Baby Mayhem and Hot Pursuit.
A little bit of jammer on jammer action here coming off of turn number 4. Now how's this going to play out? That's pretty much how it's going to play out. You could see that coming a mile away. But unfortunately, Mix was a forearms. So he will serve.
What's the rules around that? You know,
I can hit you with a forearm like that. The second I extend and make a pushing motion using the forearm, you're going to get done every single day of the week, and that's exactly what happened. He actually
so it's a flat contact rather than a pushing contact.
A flat contact with my forearms is totally fine. I'm not gaining any advantage. The second I push off of you like that and I push you away, that's my advantage gain, and that's exactly why. Unfortunately for Mix, 30 seconds served in the penalty box. But the action though is midpoint of the back straightaway. And there's some skaters are going down.
And that is a panty pass. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, roller derby. The only time it is completely acceptable to share your panty with anybody else in public. Oh, failed attempt at an apex jump there by Crash.
Yep.
Still manages to find a way.
Yeah, I was just going to say Crash wasting no time, and I don't know what he was doing in the back straightaway there, but the crowd seemed to like it.
Mixed Scrape trying to catch up with him.
Yep. Crash took a little bit of a tumble in turn 1, just looked up at the opposing blockers and went,
oh, look at that.
Nice.
Sideways. Mixed Scrape around the outside. Lovely work.
Yeah, nice bit of skating there by Max Scrape and picking up 4 points for his efforts.
Crash still finding it tough going.
It's all fun. $131, $151, 20 points, nothing in it. We're just a tick over 20 and a half minutes in this second half. So as we see then, it is Bounty Hunter up against...
Manages to find a way through the inside, out in front as lead jammer with...
Red rolling good? It is.
In hot pursuit. Packs have formed up now.
Yep.
Let's see if Bounty Hunter can find that line.
Well, she kind of did on the inside part of like turns 1 and 2, but
Not quite as clean as she's managed before.
hence why she called it off.
And fair enough too.
Yep.
Now somewhere out there,
Somewhere.
might be Princess Slayer
Yes.
with the last of the raffle tickets. Now, that raffle will be drawn, as I understand it, at halftime of the second game.
Oh, nice. So plenty of time.
Well, wait, ladies and gentlemen,
It's the bicep curls again.
it is the bicep curls.
Yep.
It is fitting that the playlist that we have playing in the background is the 80s mix, because we have ourselves a shoulder pads emergency, which often provides a really good opportunity for you to head down to Tiny Town and get a hold of some of our sponsored product from Garage Project.
Yep.
And or the Karma Cola non-alcoholic beverages that are available. As we go from an 80s emergency to a toilet stop, now, also, if you're feeling hungry, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that outside is Janine with her fantastic food, the Firebird food truck, and their fantastic food as well. But also outside is the Richter City Sausage Sizzle. Now, the thing about the Richter City Sausage Sizzle, the raffles, the chocolate coin toss, and all of the merchandise, all of the profits go from that go to supporting the travel teams.
Nice.
So it's fantastic if you're able to get out there and show some love and support for Richter City so that they can get out there, represent us in this fantastic sport.
Here. Well said.
Still on a potty stop. Oh, and we're done.
Oi, no. That won't be happening.
I'm really confused right now. There was lots of whistles.
There was. So that whistle that the jammer heard was the end of the team timeout. Now we're under the starters' instructions. Now we're good to go.
Are we jamming this time?
Yeah.
We're not just going to be blowing whistles at each other?
No.
Jolly good.
So it is then Bear Wolf, the captain for the West Coast Bombers, jamming. And I believe, yes, it is a power jam start for the West Coast Bombers, unfortunately.
And red rum already.
Yep.
Off to the sin bin.
Unfortunately, Bounty Hunter picking up a penalty in the previous jam.
Bad Wolf finding a way through. Bad Wolf making this look easy. Finding all the gaps.
What makes it even easier is the fact that it's now a power jam again for West Coast Bombers. Just as easy as that.
As Rimutaka can't do much more than just watch the Bombers rack up these points.
And what makes it equally as hard is the blocker advantage going the way of the West Coast Bombers, so they can go in and do O and make life really, really difficult. Easy for their jammer, but really, really difficult for the approaching blockers. Again, another 4 points. Bad Wolf being added to the ever-growing total.
Bounty Hunter now finding a way through.
Yep.
And Bad Wolf calling it off.
Nice little 22-point jam, just slowly
edging that lead out there.
Stretching the legs just a little bit. 175, 131, 17.25 minutes to go.
Now that's Ray Gun jamming for Remutaka.
Nice
and
move.
she is out in front as lead jammer.
Yeah, nice move. Just the outside line of turn 1 there was all laser needed.
And that's Wahine acting as the jammer for West Coast Bombers.
Yep. So slow moving pack then coming off of turn at number 4.
As Wahine takes a seat in the penalty box.
Yep. So Ray Gun now coming back around. It's another point scoring pass for her.
If she can make it past that Bombers pack.
Yep.
Recycles herself back around safely without running into anybody in those crash
Suicide
seats.
seats. Oh, she got... Okay. Crash seats. Crash seats. They're called crash seats. Yes.
I think of them as the interactive zone.
Yes.
And I believe... Now, I believe, Rimutaka taking a wee moment here by the looks of things.
They are.
Oh, wait for it. What is it? It's a toilet stop.
It is. Team timeout called. The rest having a bit of a chat in the middle as well. I'm pretty sure I know what that was about, but anyway, it's already been dealt with.
Yep. Now,
certain things you can do and certain things you can't.
exactly.
I'll put it that way.
Now, just take a moment while
Yep.
all this is going on to just pretty blatantly run through and give a big shout out to our sponsors and friends here
Yes.
at Richter City Roller Derby.
Garage project.
Garage Project. Man,
Love
you
them.
guys are good.
Yes.
Thunderpants, the ultimate undies.
Okay, nice.
They're built to stay around and not up.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Well, realistically, if you're playing derby, you don't want your undies kind of disappearing into the crack of dawn or
you
anyone
don't.
else.
No, good on them.
Yeah.
It's good to have
So
them
let's-
on board.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go Thunderpants.
Go Thunderpants.
Tiaro, Physio, and Pilates, just to help stretch everybody out after everything's all said and done.
Sounds very good.
And our friends here at Aotearoa Roller,
Yep.
they are run by our very own Tino Turnher,
Oh, yes, Tino.
and they provide one of the best skate supply companies here in New Zealand.
Cool.
Karmacola, Jam Hair for pretty hair.
Yep.
And if you see Greta Growler out and about, she has wonderful, wonderful hair.
Very colourful.
Beautifully
Greta,
colourful
tonight.
hair.
Very, very
Very,
colourful.
very
But
colourful.
Greta's always colourful. Hair on, she's just a colourful person. Love her.
Form Massage, Cake It Forward, Hataitai Osteopath, and the Gallery Custom Tattoo as we get underway.
Yeah, that's what that whistle means. It means we get to go back and derby. And there's the professor then jamming. And also we have Red Rolling.
Red
Good.
rolling good as the Professor comes back. Trying to find a line through the inside.
Does so. And then calls it off. Smart move. So we get this one underway. It's a full complement of blockers on the track, empty penalty box. That's exactly what we love to see in a roller derby.
It's Bounty Hunter and Bad Wolf right on top of each other, heading
Yep.
around the track.
This is going to be interesting. A little bit of jam on jam, and Bounty Hunter's more than awake to that and calls it off.
Tidy, quick little jam there by both jammers. We smile as she calls it off.
Yes.
Now don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're sitting there and you're feeling a little bit cold, there's 50% off all the merch, all the awesome Richter City merch down the back in Tiny Town. Get down there, get yourself one of these fluffy good hoodies.
Yeah, all right.
And warm yourselves up as Baby Mayhem out in front as lead jammer.
Yep.
Wait, I might have got that wrong. No, got it right.
No,
Mixed
she's
Scrape
definitely lead.
finds his way through. Mayhem off to the bin to contemplate life, the universe, and everything in it.
Yep.
Mixed Scrape finally managing to barge his way through.
So there's in a power jam for McScrape. He'll be doing his absolute level best to get as many points as he possibly can.
But it doesn't look like the Bombers are going to make his life any easy at all.
No.
But he manages to find a way past. Baby Mayhem now sent to the floor.
Yep. Quick to get back up.
Sideways through Mixed Scrape again. Fantastic footwork. Nice and tidy right on the line.
Now this has proven to be a pretty handy jam for McScrape. From Rimutaka, just to add to their slowly growing total.
Mayhem back, held up by that Remutaka wall.
There's a pack then just...
Oh, and she manages to find a way through quite tidily. Mixed Scrape calling it off.
Yep. Usually a stationary pack like that actually lends itself to a jammer, especially if they're not covering the line, whether it be the inside line or the outside line. Jammers love that sort of stuff. What jammers hate the most is skaters that are always moving around and covering the entirety of the track. They hate it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes,
this is the third of the types of stoppages that we have here in roller derby. This is the dreaded Eye of Sauron. Now, if you've been bad and Sauron has seen you do it,
yes,
be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yes, you don't want to see one of these. It usually means that an
Usually
official
means
or a ref has
or
seen something,
or a hobbit with a ring,
or a hobbit with a ring.
going for a walk with some of his mates.
Exactly. They've seen something they don't particularly like. So rather than make a call which could be of a huge disadvantage to either team, they'll have a bit of a discussion first up, and they'll try and sort it out.
Now, somewhere out there is our fabulous people with
Yes.
the raffle books.
Yes.
Somewhere out there,
Somewhere out in the big, deep blue.
is our wonderful people with the raffle booklets. Now, don't forget that one of the prizes is the Coffee and Chill package. The coffee, the plunger,
Yep.
the voucher to go to Colab
Thank you.
Cafe in Lower Hutt, and a Richter City roller derby shirt. Now, one of the things about Colab Cafe is that Colab is one of the places where you can get a hold of one of the Cake It Forward cakes. Now,
There you go.
you can explain it. You
Now
can
I've gotta
explain it.
Now I've got to remember what it was for.
Apparently, somebody said someone was cutting.
Yeah, there was
they
there was
disagreed.
confusion as to whether or not a cut track was actually a cut track on the Black Jammer in the previous jam, and it turns out it wasn't. So therefore, unfortunately, that team has lost their official review.
Now, that's the thing with official reviews. If you
Yep.
win, you get to keep it. If you
do.
lose, it's
You
kind of
lose
like
it.
you're done.
Yep, you
Thanks
lose
for
your
coming.
review,
You're cooked.
and you only get so many reviews per half per game. As we get this one then back underway, and it looks like number 26 jamming for Remutaka. It is the Professor. Wasting no time getting on through, not to be outdone.
Red
though.
rolling good.
That's a one.
Oh, is off to
Oi.
the bin.
Oh,
Now let's see what the professor can do
Well, I'll tell you what,
as he mixes something up in the lab.
he's got a lot to play with because he hasn't got an opposing jammer to worry him. Unfortunately, Red Rolling Good has picked up a penalty. So it is a power jam then for the professor. Let's see what he can do.
Calling to his pack now. Trying to find a nice little line.
Big hit.
Good contact.
Well taken.
And again, the professor finds a way through.
That's it. He's a solid young lad, isn't he? Took that hit beautifully. Face on did the professor, picking up 4 points in the process.
Not to be outdone, Red Rolling Good tiptoes through the tulips on the inside.
Haven't heard that saying for a while. That's very nice.
Lovely work by the professor, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely lovely work.
Just a handy 12 points to add, 172, 182, 10 points in it. We thought this was going to happen.
The game was going to be pretty tight
It
the whole way
was-
through.
Yeah. Ideally what we want is the last jam, scores locked up, and everyone on the edge of their seats going.
That's the ideal, isn't
Yes.
it?
So we've got a full complement of blockers on track, empty penalty box, always a good thing as we get this one underway.
And that is Bounty Hunter out in front.
Oh, hello.
While Bad Wolf off to the bin.
So
Very hard to score points when your jam is in the bin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, ideal start there for Bounty Hunter when all
Both
the skaters
packs.
go down.
Oh my lord. Both
Nice.
packs down like somebody cutting corn.
Oh, and it is a cut track on Bounty Hunter. Sadly,
Off to the bin. She's calling for the third ref. Calling for the third umpire.
they're calling for the third umpire.
I don't think we have one of those in Derby.
Well, we don't. It's called an official review, but anyway. So we get this one back underway.
Bad Wolf now trying to find a way through.
Yep. And with it all to do, gets through, comes through turn 4. So that's
Just cruising now.
that's the initial pass done. Now it's all about the point scoring pass for Wolf.
Oh,
And
lovely
easy as-
work by that Bombers
Yeah.
pack.
Easy as that, 4 points being added to the total. Guess who's back on track?
Bounty Hunter now.
Yep. Bounty Hunter released out of the
Oh,
penalty
look at
box.
that. If you're sitting, you missed it. Beautiful tiptoeing down the line by Bad Wolf.
So now it's all about getting some points for Bounty Hunter after serving that penalty just moments ago, trying to find a way on the outside of turn 1, not on offer.
Meanwhile, Bad Wolf does find a gap.
Yeah.
Tiptoes through the inside and is back out and around again. Racking points as Bounty Hunter tries to chase him down.
Yeah, I was just going to say, not to be outdone, Bounty Hunter also picking up points in that previous pass.
And that's the end of that jam. Now, people have swapped jobs, and what that means is that you're no longer looking for the tall Princess Slayer.
No.
You are looking for the lovely tall-haired Raven Mad. Wave your hands. Raven, where are you?
Oh, Raven.
Raven,
Oh, Raven.
where you at? She's somewhere. She's wearing a Richter City hoodie,
And she is in the building, we know this.
and she has tall hair. Professor now just can't quite manage to slip, sorry, Prince Harming, I should say.
Prince Harming, yep.
Can't quite manage to slip through the inside.
Oh.
Baby Mayhem
Yeah, with it all to do, coming through turn number 1.
finding that gap, trying to find that gap,
She is,
making hard work of it.
And she's also heavily reliant on her team offering up some O just to try and make things a little bit easier for her while she finds herself on this power jam.
Still trying to work her way around.
And now the pack coming through turn number 4. And
Still hasn't managed to find a way around.
All credit to the defensive work there and holding her up.
Absolutely.
And the recycle from turns 4 back into 3 doesn't help matters much either. As the pack comes down the main straightaway.
I tell you what, it looks like hard work out there at the moment.
Yeah, very much so. Both teams defensively doing what they have to do. And Mayhem's finding that out in no uncertain terms as the pack comes through now, turns number 1 and 2.
You can't score without your panties on your head now,
no.
can you?
No, you cannot. You need to be identified.
That statement's so true of so many things in life, isn't it?
Very much so.
Baby Mayhem still trying to get past the pack. And that's the end of that jam, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. So it was just a tick under 4.5 minutes to go. 184, 195. West Coast Bombers with a slender lead. I would expect in the next jam or two that to tighten right up.
Oh, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, 80s fashion crisis.
80s fashion. Sadly, I remember it all too well. It wasn't a good look.
No,
But
shoulder
then again,
pads
back then
weren't.
we just...
You just wore it because that was what everybody did,
We just
right?
did. We just
Yeah.
did what we had to do. And then, of course, you got this
Hey,
amazing influence in the 90s called grunge, but more about that later.
Hey, so our next game back here is on the 6th of July.
Oh.
And the All-Stars are going to be playing the Bay City Rollers from Napier in a top 10 tournament game. And it is going to be game 1 of the home season.
Ooh.
Now, in my household, we have been looking forward to the home season for quite some time because that's when our local teams, Brutal Pageant, Comic Slams, and Smash Malice all come out to play.
Oh, nice. So for the out-of-towners, would that be a Woofter sanctioned game?
Sure, yeah. Yes, of course it is.
If anyone can answer that question for me, just let me know. I'm just curious. And I know curiosity killed the cutie, but you know, hey.
So you can come and join us here. You can also find Richter City on Facebook if you want to keep up with the play of what's going on.
Yes. I've got Richter City on my Facebook.
And they're also on the old Instagram.
Insta, nice.
Now, the good thing about following Richter City on Instagram is they will never, ever post a photo of their brunch.
Oh, okay.
Which is fantastic.
That's a cool fact.
Yeah, there is.
And of course, following them on Facebook, like I do, that's how I found out about this tournament. It just happened to coincide with another reason why I'm over here, but that's all good. So get on and find Richter City Roller Derby on Facebook, Insta, and any other social media platform that they may be associated with.
Got a funny feeling there's a Twitter.
There is a Twitter? Okay.
There might be. Don't
Nice.
quote me on that. If anybody asks, I didn't say it. I might have suggested it.
I've got a chicken at home called Twitter.
A chicken.
It's chicken.
And you
It's
called
the
it Twitter.
It's the only sensible name I could call her. It was Twitter. And she's a real bossy thing too. She doesn't like many of the other chickens in the coop, but she lays eggs, so she's a good chicken.
Hey, so if you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, you might want to get in the mix with this, there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. One, you can
Don't
join.
get yourself a chicken.
Don't get yourself a chicken, and definitely don't call it Twitter.
It was funny at the time.
You can join our awesome officials, and you can either train to be a non-skating official or a skating official. And the way that you do that is you send an email to officials.richter@gmail.com. And I know that Richter City is always looking for new officials to help out.
Or even just talk to one of them. One of my dearest and closest friends who's wearing the stripes is one of the OPRs. Invade us in. Hello, invade us in. We quite often speak about up-and-coming events and do they need rest? More than happy to come over if I can. So we get this one underway. Enough of me rambling on about
And that looks like a crash for the Bombers. Out in front as lead jammer. And
nice.
the Professor barging his way through for
Tell you what.
Rimutaka. Oh, crash with some lovely
nice.
tiptoeing footwork. the professor now. Let's see what he can do.
That move on the outside there from Crash was very reminiscent of a skater we've got back in Australia called Sausage Rolls. You may or may not have heard of him. He's pretty decent. And that was a pretty decent move.
Both of these jammers now.
Whoa, nice.
Professor through. Oh, no.
He's not sure, so he just takes himself out and recycles himself just to be sure. Good move.
Crash through.
Crash just putting on a little bit of a backward skating exhibition there.
Spins around to have a look, see what's going on.
That's one way to hit a pack.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that, but hey, if you can do it, well done.
Professor now trying to find his way through as well. The Bombers pack is not making life easy for him.
But not to be outdone, Professor, just picking up the points.
Both of these jammers just chipping away.
Yep. And it's becoming a very handy jam for both jammers. I just had a quick look at the scoreboard there. As the pack then comes through turn number 1.
Crash now.
Gets on through just with a little dip on the inside part of turn number 1.
Professor manages to barge his way through on the inside.
Nice.
And that's the end of that jam, ladies and gentlemen. We're counting it down. We are counting it down time-wise.
Ladies and gentlemen, they put your hands together for Crash, a 28-point jam in that previous jam. That is no mean feat. That's a fair old effort.
Now that looks to be Bounty Hunter lining up for Rimutaka. And Bad Wolf out in front as lead jam for the Bombers.
Yeah, not to be outdone.
Oh, look at that. Bounty Hunter
Bounty
through
Hunter,
on one
yeah.
leg.
You saw a nice little gap on the inside part of turn number 1. Bounty Hunter took full advantage of it. Slow-moving Pac-Man coming through the back straight away off of turn number 2.
Bad Wolf finds a way through. A little bit of a bum check on Bounty Hunter there. All legal. Bad Wolf and Bounty Hunter.
The base jam is more than happy just to keep on skating through, and
Which is fantastic for us as observers of this game.
yeah,
To just watch it flow for a wee while.
I've got a feeling though it's not going to be too long before we may see a little bit of jammer on jammer action.
Oh, some lovely twisting footwork there by Bounty Hunter.
Yep.
Oh, beautiful work by Bounty Hunter. Bad Wolf now.
Both jammers on the previous passes picking up 4 points.
Both jammers just sliding past the packs at the moment.
Yep. You can just have a look at the scoreboard. I can understand why this jam was being skated out and Bad Wolf was not wanting to call that one off. And that's why, because it's an unofficial final score.
The unofficial.
So the refs now just come across and just make sure I's are dotted, T's across. All the points that were on offer are accounted for. As the second jammer ref comes across now, he'll just make sure that all the points are
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just as they tidy up the last few bits and pieces around scoring, let's make some noise for both of these teams. This has been an absolutely fantastic game.
Absolute ripping game.
Tight, well-played game the whole way through. Now, if you want to come down to trackside and high-five the players as they come around.
Yeah, why not?
Come on down, stick your hand out.
Offer up a high five. The lovely Miss Greta Growler. So the West Coast Bombers now just making their way out on track. And we have 029 Red Rolling Good, number 13, Hexagon.